up, everybody? This just in, 59% of people approve of alternative facts. I want to throw a shout out to our Twitter followers, David Smith, and Citizens United, Kevin, Marco Jones, NTNN, hashtag Demforce, Sadie Foss, Sounds Mold, SciTech Scotty, Georgia Morley, and David Livingston. Oh, and he's an Arizona House of Representative. Hey, thanks for following us.
Yes, guys, thank you.
And of course, I'm here with the Dark Frenchman, CT Steve.
Hey guys, what's going on?
And of course, as you heard, the Squid.
How you guys doing?
Alright guys, we got an interesting show today. We're going to talk a lot about, just again, the good, the bad, and the weird here in politics. So let's get started. Donald Trump made a speech to Congress. Was it last night?
Yes, it was last night.
And I must admit, I did not watch it.
Majority of us did.
Majority of us did not watch it.
Squid, you watched it.
Squid watched it. He was gonna bring up. He was gonna get his input on it. Go ahead.
Yes, the only reason why I wanted to watch it was because I knew it was going to be basically a circus show, and it really was, because he said so many lies, and he did have some true facts.
Were there dancing bears?
I really wish there were, but to me, Donald Trump was that dancing monkey with the cymbals, and everybody was just cheering every time he did like a backflip.
You know, I didn't watch the speech, but from what I heard of it,
It's not worth it.
It wasn't worth it for me to even watch. You know, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't. But one thing I did hear was the aftermath of it, and this is what I had to say about it. Everyone's like, "Who knew Donald Trump could be so uniting? Who knew he could do so much?" I don't give a fuck if that motherfucker made one good speech out of the hundreds that he's done. That doesn't change my mind about him.
Yeah.
Plus, I also heard about the alternative facts that he presented in the speech. I mean, he presented a lot, from what I understand. He made some pretty outrageous.
You want to hear one of them?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, here's one of them from him. He pretty much promises to promote quote unquote clean water, right? Like just hours.
Even though he just signed that bill that lets the coal people fucking dump their shit in rivers.
That was one of the things he just said.
That
was funny.
Well, another thing that I found incredibly funny was him bringing up draining the swamp.
He brought that up again?
He did. And all Republicans cheered.
But you know what was the funny thing about it? Most of them groaned. They looked at him like, "Are you a fucking idiot or what? Why would you bring that up?"
Draining the swamp.
Another thing that goes with it is that he's gonna impose a 5-year ban on lobbying.
A 5-year ban on lobbying?
Yes, but this is only going to go to senators, congressmen, and all that kind of shit. It's not going to have to deal with anybody in the White House.
Of course, because they can't have money, but he can. That's interesting. Actually, that's really interesting. I didn't even know that. That's real funny. So that basically means that they can take any kind of hard or soft money they want and get away with it.
Well,
so
yeah, it's pretty much more for me, and don't bring it up that I'm bringing this.
Wow, Donald Trump just pretty much made himself Emperor of America. He just pretty much told the senators, like in Rome, "Hey, you guys don't have as much as me. I'm the Emperor."
Well, surprise, surprise to people that are, now waking up. I'm glad you are, but yeah, he's a businessman, and he's doing exactly what he said he's going to do. He's running his business.
I don't even think he's a businessman.
He really is.
He's a sham.
Because how do you run a business?
I dispute it. I actually would say he's a demagogue. I think he's a fucking dude that's in there right now. He didn't. First of all, if you did not know this, then you should. He didn't know he was going to win.
No,
he really didn't. They didn't know they were going to win. So if you sit there and you're like, Donald Trump had in the bag, he knew it. No, he actually didn't. It was actually proven that they had no idea they were going to win.
Well, to all the people that think that he was going to win, why is he still complaining about, like, voter fraud? Like, listen, if you thought you were going to win and you won, you wouldn't bring up anything.
It's obvious because he didn't put any of his administrators in early for venting. That was one of them. Hillary already had him going. A couple of things he didn't do either. They did basically when it came to the White House. They actually he was firing a lot of people too. If you don't remember, he was firing a lot of staff.
That's true.
In a lot of campaign parts, he stopped campaigning in a lot of areas too. I mean, he did focus. Granted, good on him about Pennsylvania stuff, but he did he did fire a lot of people. It really looked like his campaign was in shambles for a little bit there, and there was even reports too that they didn't even know. Like when it came to them, they were actually surprised.
Well, they've come out and said that they were like, well, we've been in the dark most of the time, and then they came up with some BS.
And, some people that think, it's because of those polls were wrong. It's because, they actually weren't wrong. It was, like I tell people, the polls actually weren't wrong. They were only off by 4 or 5 points, which is
normal,
which is a normal swing.
It's a normal swing. That is not, there's no corruption there. That's how it always
That's how it always has been. I mean, it was a tight race. That's why they said it was a tight race.
That's right, right.
Even though when people said, she had a 5-point lead, it was still a tight race. But continue. What else did he say?
Another big thing was what he rolled back on was the Keystone and Dakota pipeline.
Man, he's gone.
He said it's going to create thousands and thousands, or tens of thousands of jobs, which is misleading. The pipeline was going to actually create 3,900 construction jobs, while the Dakota pipeline will create between 8,000 and 12,000 jobs.
You know why, right? That's because Trump has stock in the Dakota Access Pipeline.
Yes, he does. And you're not supposed to as president of the United States.
But who cares, right? He can do whatever he
wants.
Right,
I know, because, when you're president, again, let's quote a previous president here, when it's the president who does it, it's not against the law.
I just want to chime in. I want to see what you guys thought about this. And I don't know how you guys feel about this, but I was thinking about this today before we were driving in the studio. I just thought about all the times I was ever in high school and in history, because I studied college level government and AP government ever since I was in school.
Right.
And it was so crazy when we learned our lessons back then, when they would talk about people like the president, how the president has checks and balances. There are checks and balances to people.
Yeah.
There are things, it used to be like, I used to think no one was above the law in the sense of the White House, kind of like no administration was above the law. Like no one could literally take those reins and literally run with them like crazy. And you just always hear about the ideologies between Republicans and Democrats, and my God, you always hear about the Republicans standing up for the country. Where are you now? You're certainly not standing up to a guy that's running down every check and balance that has ever been created. You have guys all going on the news telling you what you want, and it's not what is being told to you. They say that Americans want Obamacare repealed. That is a lie! Every poll will tell you the exact opposite.
Yeah.
Every poll.
Yep.
Well, and I'm going to chime in there with Obamacare, because I don't know if you two have been noticing, but town halls all across the country, there are people going in and talking to these senators saying that we do not want Obamacare dismantled, destroyed, we want it.
But some of them are saying that these are, I won't confirm it either, because they are so well organized, and I know that some of it was done by Michael Moore, where they were giving out lists of town halls and everything, and I know that some, I don't know. I don't want to say I don't know, and I'm not trying to deny or confirm, but I'm pretty sure it's organic, but it's just so well organized, you can't imagine that it's like this organic, but people are outright upset. They started saying that these people, some of them weren't from that district, they were just Democrats showing up to protest, so some people actually started wearing their districts on their clothes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, to show that they were actually from that district.
Wow.
So that's how they were so upset about them telling them from that district.
That is seriously so 1940s post-World War II age, where you basically had to solidify where you were, like a number. Honestly, are we getting to that point where people have to write a number on their chest and do this?
Oh,
I think they're just wanting to do it because they can.
But here's the thing.
I'm thinking they're just doing this because they can, because to show I'm from this district. I voted for you.
Oh yeah,
you're the one who I wanted to do this, and just to prove my fact, here I am on my chest saying this.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm going to go back to what Rob said. Where the people that voted, they were just down our throats. When the show first started, we were commentating about where they were. They were everywhere. Obviously, right now we live in a red state. Where are they? Yeah. You can't go anywhere without. No one says anything about politics. All they do is, I'm not into it. I don't really know. But those are the same people that voted I know people that voted for Obama twice, and they voted for Trump because they wanted to change. And now they're going to these town halls of the same people. But where's the mass droves? I keep saying this on this podcast. Where are they? They're nowhere to be found. You're getting this man out there saying these outlandish things. If you even come out to support, you're not even supporting him. You're out there saying, like, I support this man 100%. Once he gets in, it's all going to be better. And obviously it's not, and you're nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
But you're not criticizing the man.
That's because it's like I told
man.
you. That's what it comes down to, the whole party politics. It's like football. People need to stop with this fucking NFL mentality of it's my team, so thus I must support everything it does. Just because you are Republican does not mean you have to stand beside everything they do.
That is dumb.
That's a silly person thing to do.
It is.
I had someone tell me the other day, because I told them how much I rail on John McCain, they're like, well, I voted for McCain because he stands up to veterans. I was like, and? I respect your vote for that. I respect it, and I know quite a bit about John McCain, but I think I still think he's a shitty politician.
Right.
I don't care.
Well,
right.
I'm going to chime in right here, and I don't know if a lot of our listeners know this, but I am Republican.
Yeah.
But, and I've even talked to Rob about this, last 2 elections, I've never voted for a Republican. For a presidential election, because both Republican candidates were basically
Dumbass. Yeah,
dumbasses.
But here's the thing about this, though. This goes 2 ways, because Rob's talking about the right and I am too, but this goes as far as the left too, with the people that supported the Democrats. Where are they? Because here's one thing. But here's the thing. The black majority is, like, they were wanted to throw these statistics out. They are majority Democrats, but they do. This is where the Democrats are complete idiots about this. They take their vote for granted because black people really don't have another choice. So they think, they're going to just vote for Democrats because of our policies. They don't follow up on that. Yeah. Hillary didn't follow up on that. Obviously Trump didn't.
He didn't care.
But no one cares about them. So people were surprised when you saw all the blacks for Trumps coming out and African Americans for Trump. These are the type of people that they vote party line, just as Rob said, because that is so moronic too. You're going to vote for Democrats because I don't really have another choice. You always have another choice. You always have another alternative to go. I'm not going to vote for Democrats or Republicans. There's always another candidate out there, but that's all they see. Rob is completely right, and so are you, Squid. People see red and blue, and there's nothing else.
Yes, and that's why I was telling our listeners on the last show that I think it's our time to look at the third party, because if the Justice Democrats can't get nowhere, then it's just time to go third party, guys. That is the real anti-establishment vote in my eyes, is to go third party. It just really is. I mean, the DNC put Tom Perez, like I said the other day. God, it really it stung me, guys. As I hate to say this, it really stung me that they would stab Bernie Sanders like that. And then they have the audacity to ask for his email list. And then ask Bernie Sanders for his email list? Yeah, they asked Bernie Sanders for his email list because he raised so much money on his campaign through just donations, small donor money. And, it's just so funny, man, because
they're treating Bernie Sanders like a puppet, but like a puppet that they stomp on publicly to make themselves look better, even though it doesn't. Yeah. But when they need it,
no, you're absolutely right. I don't know if you heard. They actually asked him to come out and say, "Hey, don't protest them at town halls." What?
Why do that?
They said they asked Bernie Sanders, "Can you tell people not to protest us at the town halls?" That is ridiculous, man. And, I want to go up to, you were talking about party lines. I actually want to rail on the libertarians a little bit too today. The people that thought it was cute to still vote for Donald Trump that were libertarians, because I don't know if you guys heard, but Jeff Sessions is coming after your weed. We warned you about that on this show. We told you we said that on this podcast. Take note, listeners. We said that they would be coming for your weed. You know why? And I said, if they have no problem, and I heard the best argument about this too. Hold on, let me get one point across and I'll get my other. If they have no problem repealing your health care and kicking that many people off health care, they will have no problem taking your marijuana. And you know why they're going to take your marijuana? Because it will not help profits by Big Pharma. That is exactly why they want your weed. They want to come after it because it hurts the pharmaceutical companies. That is why. And you know what? The pharmaceuticals companies are still going to take losses through the loss of Obamacare. They still are. But see, do you really think they're going to let marijuana stand alone? Do you really think they're going to let it be there? Jeff Sessions has already said he doubts marijuana helps opioid addictions. He's already said that. He says he doubts science in marijuana. That's what he doubts it. He doesn't believe it. And I love the argument that people use for people like him. Well, it's not his fault. He lives in he has a 1950s mentality. So the fuck what? It's what day and age is it? It's 2017. Times change, dude. Right. Times change. It's not the devil's lettuce no more. I wouldn't be surprised that Jeff Sessions still says dope. If he
probably does.
No, I'm pretty sure he's using terms like Reaganomics and stuff like this. Because the thing about this guy, just like you said, the whole 1950s mentality and then the whole war on drugs too, it's like... Do you really honestly think in the year of 2017 that that's even going to remotely work? Remotely work with the new people today? You understand that the entire policy of how we live has been flipped?
Yeah,
from this man being in the...
I know.
There's no... The policies... I'm being honest.
Yeah, no,
you're right. The policies from 1950, even if they want that back, would never apply even if everyone was one. Even if we were all corporated and everyone voted and left for Trump, it would never work. This war on drugs is false, people. It's false.
No,
hold on, let me jump in real quick. And I'm glad you brought up Jeff Sessions and his war on marijuana. I actually found this story, and basically what else he's going to do is his first major policy speech in his first speech, he believes that drugs are driving much of the crime.
Yeah,
basically marijuana.
Right.
And he also said that states, they can pass laws they choose, but I'll just say it like this. It does remain to be a violation of federal laws to distribute marijuana through the place of the United States.
That right there is where I cannot stand you Republicans so much, because you sit there and you say, we're for states' rights, we're for states' rights, and then all of a sudden it's like big government all day long. We're going to tell you who can go in whose bathroom. We're going to tell you that you can't smoke weed. We're going to tell you what to do all fucking day long. Do big government all fucking day long. I just think it's hilarious, the hypocrisy of it all. The hypocrisy is so bad.
It's just so blatant.
It's so blatant, and you know what? I hate to say this. I've been just thinking, because I don't think we're going to get... I think we're going to get more than 4 years of Trump, honestly, with the way the DNC is.
I really hope not.
I think we are. Have you heard who they're talking about running?
For Democrats?
The Democrats, yes.
I haven't.
Okay, Cory Booker. Have you heard of him?
Cory Booker? Who the fuck is that?
There you go. No, that's all you need to say.
Before we go into more in this, I will let this... on a good, funny side note is... the Colorado Attorney General, Cynthia Kaufman, she's offered Jeff Sessions to come to Colorado to see how thriving their economy is doing there, and she actually said this: heroin is on the rise.
Yeah.
Not marijuana, heroin.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys have seen this. Have you guys seen Fist Fight?
No.
They make fun of kind of drugs a little bit. Charlie Day, I loved him, Charlie, in that they bring up marijuana, and one of the characters says, marijuana isn't a drug, it's weed. And that's what it is. To me, marijuana is not a drug.
No, it's not a drug.
It's more of a stimulant than anything else. But the thing about it is, it's just they can't let it go. Again, Rob is point blank. It's like they have their ways, and they're not letting go of it. And they're going to, by God, push that whole, are you smoking the dope?
Are you smoking
Are you on that dope?
I wouldn't be surprised if they still use the word dope, but it's really, really, really funny.
It's more disheartening to see a human being do that.
What I was going to say, the more I hear all this stuff before, like Squid Jump, the more I hear all this stuff, the more I can only think about the future, because I still think we're going to get 8 years of Donald Trump, because the DNC just can't get its shit in order, and if there's no, huge populist third-party candidate that will be on the rise. Like, I would love to see Bernie. I think if Bernie went independent or third-party, I think he would do great.
I think he'd win.
I think he would more thrive really as an independent.
I think he would too. But the more things I keep thinking about is just the future of both parties.
Right.
And I think I really think both parties are dead at this point. I do. I think they're not only dead, but I think they're so warped. They're so warped. It's like you cannot call them Democrats. You cannot call them the Republicans.
Right.
They're literally, I would just say, establishment.
Well, one is basically dead, infighting, and the other one is in power, and they won't let themselves prosper because there's too much infighting. So there's no real cohesive
that's what I'm
party,
saying.
which is so mind-boggling to me when people can push either party down your throat, and it's like none of them have their shit together. When is anybody gonna say, okay, I'm kind of a Republican, but they're really shitheads, and they really need to get their shit in order.
Yeah.
All you see is people going like, no, he's right, you need to stand by him, you need to give him a chance. How many chances do I need to give him? Are you talking about chances as in years?
Yeah.
We're not counting years as in lives like in a video game, people. This is serious, and if this guy is... We're only, what?
Are you talking about Trump again?
Yeah, we're only a couple of months in, right? So this is not good. You need to understand on both parties too, because people right now, you just gave the Democratic nominee. People are like, oh, see, this is a good step in the right direction.
No, Tom Perez is not.
No,
they should have went with Bernie, man. They should have went with Keith Ellison's pick. That should have just been what it was, period, man. I don't understand.
They see him as a threat. I don't know why.
Yeah, well, like I said on the last show, the only reason they wanted Tom Perez is because he was Hillary's pick and Obama's pick. I'm sorry, who lost the last election? The Democrats. But see, this is what I was trying to get my point, though. I don't mean that by Trump. I mean that just the parties themselves. The parties are so warped. There's going to be, I just feel like either in the next election, or maybe the next one, I don't know, we're going to see some kind of huge dismantling of both
We're
parties.
going to see a huge turnout.
Let's just say we get to, I'm just going to just say, and I hate to jump so far ahead and make predictions, but I'm just going to say let's just get to when 8 years through Trump, when both parties run again. Well, if he lets go of that mantle of power, that's if he does it. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if he wouldn't. But I just think that when it comes to both those parties, man, it's going to be difficult for anyone to fucking run, because it's going to be, I think it might be the end of both parties there. I just really do, because no one.
Can you imagine? I mean, just imagine that person.
But you made another point too. I really think it's funny. You have one party that I think is really hilarious that has the majority of the population, compared to one party that has a very small part of the population. Yet that party that gets the smallest population, they fucking get their people out to vote, and the fucking party that has the majority of people, you can't even fucking. You can't pander to them. You can't even fucking get on their side. You can't be for them. So much so that they don't even come out to vote for you. There are more people in California and New York than most of the fucking country, and you can't get the people to come out and vote for you?
And California, by the way.
That's what I'm saying, man.
It's one of the. It's just so.
And see, people might be wondering what they're talking about. California voted for Hillary. Yes, they did. But the turnout was still low.
It was low
all around.
It was shit.
Low all around, all across the country. I'm talking about from coast to coast. It was low. And that's because they didn't get their people out to vote. But, I just think there's going to be a lot of changes in our country. One, I think, is going to be the electoral college needs to be changed. That's one. Money in politics needs to definitely be changed. And I think it's so funny that when you were mentioning the whole Trump banning lobbying from Congress but not from the White House, I think that's fucking hilarious. Because people that aren't paying attention, not like the Minutemen who are paying attention here, but that is a clear shout out right there that we're going to take money from whoever we want. Whenever we want.
And you will just grin and you will smile and you will either like it or don't. It doesn't matter because we're taking it anyways.
Alright. We're going to take our first break, guys. We'll be right back. Guys, so Arizona actually decided not to become the first state of tyranny, and they decided to block down that protest bill that we've been telling you guys about on the show. The bill that would basically say that any protester caught in a riot or any protest gone violent, the cops would literally be able to seize your assets, to take your shit. Yes, they actually voted this bill down, I don't know. I want to get your guys' take on it. I mean, I would say this is a small victory here for us in Arizona.
Yeah,
it's a victory for us in the Minutemen. I won't lie. I mean, I tweeted out. I tweeted out to them when they actually had this. They were talking about this bill. I said, if you think this is going to get us from stop speaking out, then you can blow us. Period.
No, but in serious note, it really is. It's a small victory, but a victory nonetheless. We still have way more work to do. If we want to get anywhere through these people,
plenty of work to do.
Because this is kind of just like a step back. And but as far as Arizona,
right? I wouldn't even say it's a victory. You're absolutely right. It's like a step back. It's just like, okay, some stupid shit like this.
Like we tried so hard to get it to not pass, but they're like, okay, you just said no. It doesn't mean that we're gonna stop here. Yeah. And that's what's kind of annoying to me, because people feel like, yay, we did it, guys! What did you do? What happened? You repealed something, okay. That's like the prelude to the first step of things you need to do. And people are just kind of like going, phew, well, we did that, now what else we gotta do, guys? No, you keep joining the fight, and you keep moving forward. Yeah. People are kind of just putting their hands in their pockets like, I've done my part. And that's where we're having trouble at. Yeah.
Did you guys say you had something about some Arizona mother or something like that?
Oh, no, well, we're talking about a teacher here.
Oh, okay. What happened? You guys
there's we're having an Arizona teacher out here. He is by the name of, I believe, Tim Kaine. He has
What's his name?
Tim Kaine.
Tim Kaine, like the vice president?
Yeah, and he, so basically he goes out,
Tim Kaine,
and he's not the only one. There's a bunch of people, a bunch of teachers are angry with immigrants. I don't know if you've noticed that, but they've been out there pretty much on Twitter, on Facebook, saying racist things, what's new, right? But what they're doing is they're not taking them down, and their students are finding them. And they're going in the next day saying, hey, I saw you say something very racist, saying kill all the immigrants instead of deporting them. Was that you? Oh, yeah, that was me. And them getting fired. So now you're having these supposedly smart teachers that say the racist things and don't delete the tweet, and they just go in the next day and say, I resign.
Wow.
Like, that's making a statement. So I that right there, if that's not concerning to anybody outside of Arizona, you should take note, because it's extremely, extremely bothersome for the people that live in Arizona.
Agreed. It reminds me of this guy, actually, that's on our Twitter account recently. He's been making a little bit of noise. His name is Roy D. Songer. He's a deplorable piece of shit like that. He's a guy that says kill all the immigrants. Literally, it says so on his Twitter. I think it's
funny. I saw, like, he kind of...
He's our biggest fan.
Wow.
Yeah, he's our biggest fan. He listens to us a lot, yeah.
I thank you for listening.
Yeah, thank you for listening.
I keep listening to
I like your Kickstart. I like that, yeah.
They got those. I love those.
So, like I said, it's not like I don't pay attention to you guys on Twitter. I do. If you guys say something else, I will check out your
podcast. I love how he takes the time out of his day to complain about our podcast. So means you're listening. Thank you.
Yeah, it's like I hate these guys, so yet I have
to just every week. You guys are so terrible. Yeah, I'll listen next week.
Yeah.
Well, I saw him retweet one of my things and made a comment on him again. Okay, you're like this. And I saw a lot of his stuff on there, and he bashes a couple of times. I'm like, one of our newest haters. Thank you.
I love it.
Yeah, but I love it. But you know what? Let's get real with it, though. If you want to bitch about how we go on about our podcast,
how you need a safe space.
It's funny. Are you going to complain because either me or Rob or Squid said something you don't like that challenged you?
Yeah.
Okay, you're just going to bitch on Twitter. Okay, so that's funny. That's funny that you're probably complaining about Rob's comment about we need a third party. We need an that's this.
I just want to tell you how much I pay attention to you guys. How much this guy pays attention to you. Roy, I saw that you're a cancer survivor. And then you're going on our podcast and saying we should just kill all the immigrants.
That's just... What are you doing?
Don't know what to say.
What are you doing?
Sometimes I wish you wouldn't beat that cancer.
It's just really bad, though. I mean, but when you have these people out here again just doing stupid shit like that, I mean, it's funny. And
like we keep telling everyone, we're the only left-leaning podcast here. We're the only podcast that tells you.
We're not going away.
We're not going away.
We're not going away.
Guys, so
I mean, you're not going to be like saying, "Hey guys, we hated on Trump, but he's not a bad that guy.
Hey, actually, I would say we only hated on Trump for a good, 5 minutes of the show today. Actually, we haven't even talked about him that much. We've been really shitting on the DNC.
Because people, if you're complaining about that, oh, you only bitch about Trump. First of all, that's relevant news that needs to be talked about. That's number one. Number two is we are not, and I repeat, not against or for any of these parties. We want these people to succeed because they're running the country. That's why we're criticizing them. You should criticize them as well, no matter what party you're from. But if there's shit that's happening, we're gonna call it out. Democrat, Republican, doesn't really matter who's in party in charge. I mean, I know, Squid, you got some idealistics on that, because again, you are a Republican, so
I do.
Slimy.
Well, I've actually saw something that's been coming up on the news lately. Is our governor, Doug Ducey, Big Double D.
Yeah.
A lot of people are still trying to get a town hall from him. There are protesters out there trying to talk to him.
Yeah, I did see that. He's not one for the town halls, I see.
No, he's not. You know why, right? Yeah, you know why. I've already told people why. That's because Double D's pockets are lined with the biggest real estate, big donor money you've ever seen, man. Mm-hmm. I mean, I challenge any of you who vote for Double D to go to his website. In fact, you can actually just type in on Google Doug Ducey's campaign contributions, and you will get some sites, and you will see who give Doug Ducey money. And let me tell you what, there's not one person that gives Doug Ducey money that's not a big corporate CEO. That's why we say everybody go vote for Noah Dyer. And yes, that was a plug for him. But yeah.
Yeah, it's just it's one of those things where, again, we talked about it before on the last show, but he is a corporate stand-in.
Yeah, no,
if you think that he's not, then
it's really funny. Like I said too, he's sitting at a 31-35 disapproval rating right now.
Right. Sitting just as much as Trump is. No one's saying anything because he's a stand-in.
Yeah.
He's a stooge. He's sitting there just collecting the paycheck, saying, "What should I do next, guys?" Okay, well, I won't take this town hall. Are you sure? They're pretty upset with me. That's him.
I do have a question for you both. Do you think at night Doug Ducey rolls around in a bed full of money?
No, yeah, he's like Mick Scrooge. He's like diving in the money bin.
Yeah, that's what he's doing in the Capitol building here. Just jumping in piles of our money.
I would have more respect for politicians if they did that, actually. If they just started throwing money at people and saying, "Look at how rich I am," and start just flaunting it.
I got this check from Coldstone. He's like, "Here you go."
Yeah, totally.
I've been rolling in the dough.
Just totally, what they should do is just air live them paying off their donors. That's what they should do.
They should.
They should do that.
Well, do you remember when the candidates did the Koch brothers thing? When all of them, and they wouldn't air it because they didn't want something. They actually cut out different parts of that. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Hilarious like that.
That's funny. It's just so funny how...
I would imagine that's how Doug Ducey's town halls would go. He would get a question that challenged him, and he'd be like, cut the feed, please.
You know you would do. You'd be coming in just dressed in all like a fucking a pro football player with all these sponsorships all over himself, just like he's eating this Cold Stone Creamery.
He comes in like a NASCAR driver.
He's totally got everything. And he comes in with 2 chicks in his arms.
And he's like, hey, you guys, listen to me. When I get stressed about politics, I pull out a nice Cold Stone ice cream. And he starts eating it.
He starts eating it, poses to the camera with a thumbs up.
So, what's the reason why Mr. Double D won't do a town hall?
Pretty much.
That's a good question.
I mean, really, the honest question is just like we said. I mean, if you have that bad of a disapproval rating, would you want to be standing? Honestly, would you want to be in a town hall?
No,
that's the least thing that you want to do.
Yeah, I think it's pretty fine.
I would love to go to one.
I would ask him a question.
Yeah, I would too.
I would actually treat him to some Cold Stones afterward. I'd be like, Doug Ducey, I heard you like ice cream. Would you like to have some ice cream afterwards?
You'd be like, ice cream discount. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny, in that public policy, but they were talking about how a lot of, to our listeners, I don't have the numbers here right here with me right now, but public policy polling came out and they were talking about Arizona politicians, And apparently, our politicians are not very favorable. Like we said, Doug Ducey sits at 31%. Jeff Flake sits pretty bad, too. Jeff Flake will probably not win his re-election. And all I can say to that is, good. Good, Mr. Flake. I'm happy you are going to be losing your seat because you do not stand up to anything for anybody. You're not a maverick Republican.
No,
you're not. You vote for Trump like 100% of the time. Even on stupid picks like Linda McMahon.
so
What are you,
funny.
fucking dumb?
Hey, Western fan, come on, give him a break.
God. Anyway,
Maybe you got free tickets out of that.
probably.
Probably. Hey, I mean, but he's just so right about that. I mean, if you're these so-called mavericks like a John McCain that I'm so against Trump, he said
He's
some
not
wrong and
against Trump.
negative things against me. He's gonna be right next to you voting.
He's
Part
not.
one.
Oh, God.
I mean, come on,
All right.
don't kid yourself.
Let's change it up a little bit, though. So I don't know if you guys saw that Trump has wanted to do, $54 billion military budget increase.
Yes.
Oh my God, guys. I keep hearing this argument a lot, and I used to believe in it. Let me tell you, and I will repeat this again to some of my conservative friends. I used to believe this argument. Our army is the smallest it's ever been in the history of the United States. Yes, it is true. But do you know why? Because technology, man. Technology has made things a lot simpler where we don't need so many people on the ground. We have drones. We have robotics, man. We have cyber war, man.
Yeah.
The army does not need to be boosted up with manpower like that. I mean, manpower, yes, if we were invading or
If
war,
we
but
were
that's
invading.
not. But right now, what they're proposing is just ridiculous. It's ridiculous spending. It is.
It really is.
And you know who's going to be on favor for that? I guarantee you, John McCain.
Yeah,
Oh
of
yeah,
course.
John McCain's actually
of
asked
course.
Trump for a higher military budget.
I'm sure
because
he has.
he's on that military council
And see,
kind of shit.
he says all the time, this is how dictators get started. This is how dictators get started. Well, yeah, dude, you want to set this guy up with the biggest army in the world, and now you want him to go around and
now
bully
you're-
countries?
Yeah, and then you're like,
What are you
that's a bad
doing?
idea. We shouldn't. Of course it is. Of course. I mean, it's and then you know what? That's why people are angry with you doing that too, because you're coming out. Oh, see, this is how dictators get started. Oh, really? Why don't you get off your fucking ass and do something about it, than going on national television and then bitching about what
I don't know
everybody
if you guys heard. Newt Gingrich actually came out and said that there needs to be a independent
Jeez.
search into Trump and Russia's ties.
Gingrich said
Again,
that?
back to the Minutemen. We were right about that. Yeah. So Newt, and
Wow.
I even tweeted out, "Wow, one of you Republicans, hey, the GOP Senate, one of your own just stood up and said something. Where are the rest of you? Nowhere to be found." And that's what I mean, man. I mean, even if and of course, I don't think the Russia thing will ever come to complete fruition. I mean, if it does,
It's gonna stick around.
This is the
you
first
think
chapter.
you guys think
It's gonna stick around.
I think it'll.
It's the
I
first
think it'll
chapter.
disappear.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think we'll disappear, but I'm telling you right now, this is just the first chapter.
Well, the reason I say it's going to disappear is because, like I told you guys before, I mean, if it literally became true, it'd be the death of the Republican Party. Because you would know the Republicans were in cahoots with all this. They were just fine with everything going on. And you can't tell me that's a lie. Look at all the Democrats that come out of those meetings, man. They're not happy about it. They're not happy. And, the reason I think, like I said, I think it's just party politics. The fact that it's your team, it's okay. I think that's so stupid.
We are seeing some people that are in the administration quitting because of the whole they couldn't take the whole lies and
Oh,
stuff.
yeah, a lot of
there's
the
people-
Intel community,
the
yeah.
the lead Intel's advisor quit, and
I'm going to tell my listeners, too, do not let him fool you. If there's a huge major attack on this country, it will not be some judge's fault. It will not be the Intel community's fault. It will be his fault. It will be his fault because he did not listen to the Intel community whatsoever. He's denied every single thing that doesn't fucking meet his perspective whatsoever. Everything is fake news, fake news, fake news if it doesn't match his fucking ideology, man.
but it's the same thing. I mean, again, I've said this before too. But it's that whole manipulative nature of him. He's that star. He's a star figure.
And people
still
just get away
see
with
that,
it.
and they like it, and
Why
he
do
gets
you let
away with it.
Why do you let
Why?
him get away with it? He's not Jesus, man.
But to some, they believe he's Jesus. He's our savior. He's come down to
It's right. There was recently a black reverend, I can't remember his name, but he recently said Trump is the fucking Messiah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're shitting me.
No, I'm not.
No, he said that on national
God.
radio. He has a national radio station, and he said that.
Yeah,
Like, it was moments after. See that's just
Some
tough.
people are so touched in the head. It just astounds
I mean, I know you're a Christian, Squid, but the years I've known you, and this is why Squid is on our station, is because he's not one of those Republicans that believes every single thing you spew to him. That's like, within party lines. And some people may say they're not a real Republican, but I think he is actually. I think he is. He's more Republican than you are. I mean, I would say he really is, and that's why we have him on the show.
Well, it takes a real Republican to listen.
Yeah,
I mean, it really, you don't have to be a smart-ass person. All you gotta do is just listen to the other side, make your own judgments. And Rob, you yourself has said that you were highly conservative in the past.
Oh yeah, that's
took a test. You went back to high school. I took a test in high school to say, what are you, Democrat or Republican? And you take this test, and it was 10 answers, right? And at the end, you would get graded, and you were Republican or Democrat. I was highly Republican. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I was really conservative for a while
Yeah,
until I found out
while.
that when things happen to you, sometimes you need social safety nets to help you, man.
You do.
You do. When you really end up getting everything taken away from you, and many people don't know how that feels. I actually am a person that knows how that feels to have your whole world ripped out right underneath you and be left with nothing. And people just kind of sit around you, especially in a red state, and say, well, that's too bad.
And that's too bad. Or
That's
they
too
blame
bad.
you. Or they blame you.
you.
I mean, come on. You know somebody in your family, whether it be immediate or unimmediate, that is depending on this health care.
Yeah.
So you're just going to damn them? Who cares about them? You know what? They're bottom feeders for not having enough money for that? Are you really that cold?
Well, I look at
now
people
for that
like my
person?
son. My son has asthma. He has a pre-existing condition. Are you going to deny my son, who, he's 4 years old? You going to deny him coverage? Because he has asthma, really bad
Right.
asthma? You're going to deny him? See, that's where I get mad at a lot of that stuff, but, I digress.
But digressing to the state of that's a child that it's not his fault.
Yeah.
He was born with that. I mean, the other people that have conflicting issues, they didn't ask for that.
That's why I'm also mad too. Is for the people that they want to rip the ACA away, but they realize, people like my son, actually, for instance, who sit on the ACA with his mother on his mother's plan. See, what about people like that? He's only 4. He has no idea about the political party lines, and he was born with a condition.
He does.
And see, according to Rick Santorum, though, that's a fault. I might get that. I don't know if you guys heard that dumbass motherfucking dunce on CNN the other day. He's like,
No.
he can't repeal and replace. Rick Santorum. He makes excuses for everything, and I don't know why CNN even has him on. He makes
Just as a joke, I think.
but every excuse is always, well, Obama and Hillary, Obama and Hillary, Obama and Hillary. I could literally write his fucking script for him on that fucking show. And then his arguments are so fucking stupid. They're so ridiculous, so out of the realm of fucking...
Obama's leading an underground militia against Trump.
I love... Is that how much they hate him, dude?
I mean, really,
Possibly.
he's been on vacation away from
and
politics.
he's still
Still the guy.
I'm still plotting against you guys.
It is so funny, man. They were watching way too many James Bond films.
Well,
I think they have to.
I want to jump in with this and how you're talking about with your son and your ex-wife. Donald Trump last night, one of his plans that he wants to put into place is health care designed more for women and children. I don't know if that's actually going to happen or not, but I mean, I have...
Goddamn things. Because you know why? Because Paul Ryan is saying the exact opposite. Paul Ryan's already come out with this plan. They want to do stupid fucking risk pools, man. That doesn't help at all. Do you know they've already done the study and they said if they had the same amount of risk pools as people on Obamacare, it would fucking almost bankrupt it. We would only be bankrupt from it. And you talk about physical conservatives wanting to fucking make sure the budget stays good.
Oh,
you don't
man.
care about the budget, because if you cared about the budget, you wouldn't have passed that fucking plan that says let them fucking ruin the budget by getting rid of Obamacare. So don't fucking talk about me about being a physical conservative guy. Damn it. I hate, no, and I mean that because I'm shitting on someone I like Rand Paul. Because Rand Paul stands as a physical conservative, but Rand Paul doesn't stand for shit.
No, of course not. Are you kidding me?
That's another maverick Republican that says, I stand up. You don't stand up for dick.
No.
Because Rand Paul, if you stood up for your fucking people, you would realize that, maybe half the coal jobs in my fucking state need health care. The coal miners probably need health care, you fucking asshole. Did you think about that? No, because you want to pretend to be a physical fucking conservative when you're nothing like your father and you're a fucking disgrace as a fucking Republican and a fucking independent. We'll be right back. Alright guys, we're back, and I had to take a drink of water there, sorry. Sorry, sometimes I get overworked for the politicians that pretend to be independents, just like the politicians that pretend to be Republicans. You know, I want to talk about something, and I want to get into what I would say is probably my main subject tonight, which is, let's talk about alternative facts. And let's talk exactly what is an alternative fact. And this is to some of my conservative friends out there. And I'm going to just propose a question. I'm going to give you a moment to answer it, and I'm going to tell you what the right answer is. Okay? So here it goes. Do you think a majority of the population of America stand with Donald Trump? In other words, do you think he has a mandate? If you said yes, you are wrong. You are wrong. That is an alternative fact. Okay? He does not have a mandate. He did not win the popular vote. I will say this twice. He did not win the popular vote. He did not win the popular vote. In any other modern democracy, he would have lost. That's just a fact.
Yep.
It's not a fucking Rorschach test that you can take from. When you hear these Republicans stand up and say, a majority of America want Obamacare repealed, that is a fucking alternative fact. Actually, I'll go even so far as to say that's a fucking lie.
It is a lie.
It's a fucking lie. They are fucking bullshitting you.
And the thing is, they're doing half of their work. Their full work is, I can only tell you the bullshit, but I can't make you believe it. And they're the ones that are believing it.
I mean,
it's on their side is, yeah, we're going to spew this bullshit, but are you going to believe it? And the most
But that's what I'm trying to get to.
Believe it.
But didn't someone once famously say, the bigger the lie, the more people believe it? Oh, if some of you were wondering who said that, that was Goebbels. Yep. From the Nazi era. So if some of you were like, wow, yeah.
Is that an alternative fact as well?
That's not an alternative fact. That's not an alternative fact.
Documented. Again, it's just...
The inauguration size was not an alternative fact. There was less people at his inauguration.
I don't care if this man puts that on his ceiling wall. Just because the man is like, I will say this to my grave, that was a lie, and I had the biggest... You guys really need to just take a step back and just criticize the man.
How about let's just be honest? Stop apologizing. Get the fuck back in reality.
Really? But he doesn't live in reality.
No, we're not talking about support.
Oh, the supporters they need to get back to reality too. They need to stop drinking Kool-Aid.
Here's the thing about the reality. Were you ever really in reality in the beginning? If you're thinking like this, if you're still at an I don't care what age you are, because that doesn't really play. I don't give a shit, because people are like, well, age difference is an age difference. You can't change a guy that's 7 years old. Trump is 7. I don't care about.
Changed.
I don't care. Times have changed. I've said this to Rob more than once. The policies that we've known our entire lives is over. Things have changed dramatically, whether you like it or not. I don't care if you will say, I go to the grave believing, then you can go to the grave all you want and you'll be a dumb fucking asshole.
Yeah, you can.
That's what you should have in your gravestone.
You should feel like a dumb fucking asshole.
You should.
I'll be honest. You know what? I'll take the bullets for you guys. If you're a conservative out there and you think everything Trump is doing is good, then you're a fucking retard. I'm sorry.
No,
you're dumb.
No.
No. You're dumb. You're dumb. You're just dumb. I'm sorry. If you think everything he's done is a good thing, you're just a stupid person. I'm sorry. You're a silly, stupid person. If you literally believe that he has a mandate, that most of America agree with him, that all the Muslim ban that is helping America, if you literally believe that shit with all the evidence to the contrary, then you're a silly person. You just are.
You are. It's just ridiculous. It's at the point where, just like you said, I mean, what else can you say? If you're not going to wake up from your bubble and you're not going to just listen to somebody,
then get the fuck out.
Then you should then you should get it's like then you should get the fuck out.
You're not making America any better.
You're not.
And that's one thing I will say. That's a good point, because we hear this a lot from a lot of our conservative friends here in Arizona, that we need to get the fuck out.
You don't like it, leave it.
You get the fuck out. You let a fucking man run all over your country, and you fucking sit there and give him a hand job 24/7 till he just blows his load in your face, and you're like, please, Mr. President, give me more, because I believe every single fucking thing that comes out of your mouth. Why? Because I'm a Republican, just like you. And that's where my fucking bubble is. And I don't fucking listen to anything else that challenges my ideology of the world. But you know what? That's fine, because that's human nature. But you know what? That makes you a stupid person.
It does. No, it makes you a Neanderthal is what it makes you. You're not evolving as a person.
No, you're not.
Forget the party line. Forget, what it is that your policies are and your politics. You, as a human, you are evolved to question. We are here to observe and question. If you are just observing, retaining in this information that he's saying, and not questioning it, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You're basically dumbing yourself, and then you want to judge others. Oh, if you don't like the country, leave it. No, you should leave, just like he said, because you're not understanding your own laws, you're not doing your homework,
you're
and you're just letting a guy just all over you.
America.
And you're going to be the same person that says, you know what, I'm not liking what he's doing, he's taking away my health care, I have no sympathy for you. And I was debating this, I was going to go on record and say, yeah, I have sympathy for people because we should come together, but at this point, if you are not willing to take the brunt and say, listen, I need to, as my own person, think for myself, and you're just going for it, then you deserve no help.
Well, I'm going to say this. I hold no sympathy for anybody, because, I mean, I give no shits about Donald Trump and just everything.
No, why should you? Because where's his track record that shows that he cares about you?
Yeah.
Where has he said anything that he's like, oh, I'm for the people that support me? No, it's all been about him, me, money. Not even money. Attendance sizes, how big the crowds are, how big this is, how big that is.
Even teasing his base.
Oh,
I wouldn't even say, they say placating his base. No, he's just teasing you. That's all he does. He just teases you. He just says all the shit you want to hear, and then you just suck it all up. Well, what's so funny, too, and let me just make a joke before we actually end our show today. One of the funniest fucking things is when you sat there and you said, all these liberals do is follow Obama. You're doing exactly the same thing right now. You're doing the same fucking
people
thing.
That say crying liberals, you are just as bad.
You are crying Republicans.
You are crying Republicans because you're basically sore winners. You're the fucking people that already won, and you're you're still fucking crying about it. So and then you're gonna go and hypocritically call the people. Oh, you know what? They're out there unjustifiably.
Call the left alt-right.
Yeah. Okay. Here's an example. Have you guys heard of The Blaze? The conservative news media.
The blazing piece of shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, there's a show on there. There's a woman called Tommy Lauren.
Oh yeah, she's
heard about it. She's a person that
Tommy Lauren is nothing but a partisan mouthpiece. Tommy Lauren does not have a single coherent thought in her own head. And when you watch guests go, like some of you are going, oh, Tommy's smart. No, actually, when you watch someone go directly at her with fucking facts, she will just repeat the same nonsense she's been given.
When you go on record and saying that the Black Lives Matter movement is just as bad as the KKK.
She said the Black Panthers is also just as bad as the KKK.
Really? I mean, then you're gonna take that as credible source. There's no help for you. I can't help you. I'm not gonna sit there and debate with you.
Fact.
It's an alternative fact to the fucking max.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just ridiculous. And
I think what's funny too is a lot of conservatives will say, well, clearly there's a connection. I mean, the KKK did terrorist things, the Black Panthers did terrorist things. Okay, well, if you want to talk about the ending years of the Black Panthers, I guess you can make that argument.
You could.
But so says the fucking organization that was mostly backed by the South, that was murdering and hanging black people and taking pictures. And you know what's funny? The police let them do it. They didn't let the Black Panthers do any of that shit. They let them do that.
Yeah.
So you got one side saying that they're just as bad as the KKK, even though the police still arrested them.
Here's the thing about this, and I'm going to quote somebody, one of my favorite activists right now, Trevor Noah. He had her on his show, and he said that you're acting as if you're saying the Black Panthers are the new KKK. He was saying you're acting like the KKK are not around still. They're still around. Yeah. They're still active. Yeah. They're still doing things. So you to kind of compare them to that is very, very insulting. But Rob, again, for all the people that are going to get some hate mail, because I'm pretty sure we're going to get some hate. But you know what? If you're going to hate about what Rob just said, or what I'm saying, or even Squid is saying, the fact of the matter is, we're challenging you as a human being to question what anybody is saying that is above you. Anybody that is above you. I'm going to drop a Tool quote here. Think for yourself, question authority. And that is so true. You need to question the people above you, whether they're doing right or wrong. Don't just go like, he's on the television, Trump, he sounds so cool.
He's for my party.
For me. Yeah. He's saying that he's not anti-Semitic, and he just said that he's the... Are you really just going to sit there and just like, he said it, I'm done, because he says, believe me, folks, believe me. No, you need to, as a human being, and in your right, cohesive mind, do that. And like Rob said, we're not having those people. And if you're going to do that, then I'm sorry, then you have no sympathy for me, and you should, again, then you should be the person on the fucking streets like, I have no Medicare, I'm wandering the streets, and I have this, and...
I don't want that really for anybody except one person, and this is what I want to end the show with. I want to end a little shout out to a good Republican that I absolutely despise, named Mitch McConnell! Mitch, I really hope one day you are in the back of a KFC dumpster looking for food. I don't normally wish that on people, but I wish that on you. Alright, everybody. You guys have a wonderful night. The Minutemen signing out.
It's been a long day living with this. It's been a long time since I felt so sick. I took a long walk straight back home. I could have walked back to San Francisco. I used to long for a time alone. I used to long for a place of my own. And I'm losing faith in everything. I'm lost, so lost, I'm lost at sea.